So I put a poll out the other day on Twitter asking Destiny players what they thought of the Sentinel Titan's middle tree, aka go to the commander. I have no idea what I expected, but this is what I got.
Okay, so you know how we had the 3 bounties from like Gambit, Crucible, and the strikes from the Vanguard, right? Right, the beginning of the thing we got out of the fucking like season.
Yeah.
Guess which one's not done? The Vanguard. You know why? Because some fuck over here is killing everything before my grenades can do anything to him. Because he's too efficient with explosions. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna look goddamn pretty, alright?
Hello everyone, my name is Sentinel Gray. Welcome to the channel. Now that clip you just watched was my girlfriend, Mal Nightingale, ruining the day I was born because of how efficient I am at killing. Okay, usually, this wouldn't be a problem, but when she's trying to get bounties stacked up for Beyond Light and I keep on killing everything, tends to piss her off just a bit. That's not the reason why I'm making this video though, obviously. I'm making this because I believe I found one of the best builds for crowd control that Titans could ever have, and it's so solid that stat numbers almost don't matter. To do this, you need to be Middle Tree Sentinel, go to the commander, and equip the Monte Carlo exotic auto rifle along with the Heart of Inmost Light exotic chest piece. I'm going to go over these things individually so you can understand how these 3 things work off of each other and can essentially give you your ability charges back within around 5 seconds of using them, which, as anybody knows, is absolutely nuts in Destiny. Before we get started though, I want to express that the 3 things you need for this are supposed to be all stuck behind the Forsaken and Shadowkeep expansions. Which means, if you're free to play currently, you shouldn't have access to either of the exotics or the subclass tree that you need. If you somehow acquired the exotics through a bug or whatever, I heard that was going on, but still don't have the tree, don't worry. Towards the end of the video, I'll have an alternate option for you. Alright, so go to the commander. The most simple ability you have in this tree is the melee ability Tactical Strike. Whenever you hit an enemy with a melee and they die, they explode. And it basically puts a void charge on them, so you don't have to exactly kill them with a melee. You can shoot them to death and they'll still explode. The next one is where it gets interesting. Controlled Demolition. I'm going to read from the in-game description here, so just humor me. Hit a target with a void ability to attach a void detonator. Further hits cause the detonator to explode, dealing damage to surrounding targets. Just for clarification here, that explosion is also void ability damage, which means if you punch a thrall, the thrall blows up and that explosion hits, say, 5 more thrall. Those 5 thrall now have those void detonators on them as well. You can essentially chain 1 grenade throw to kill as many enemies as you want as long as they're close to each other and take damage. For reference, you can throw 1 grenade or punch 1 enemy during the Shiro Chi raid encounter in Last Wish, and a very big portion of the enemies just blow up because of their proximity to each other. But wait, there's more! The next ability, Resupply, causes the explosions from the void detonators to regen health, grenade, and melee energy to you and nearby allies. You know what that means? For as long as shit blows up, you and your team are not only healthy, but also have more grenades, knives, and handheld Nova bombs that you can throw at your enemies. And it is because of this ability alone that I would much rather run it in any activity over Bubble Titan. Yes, I know Bubble is insanely useful, I get it, endgame content and all, but in my experience, nothing has kept me alive more than the health and energy I get from Resupply. Finally, we have the Banner Shield. Not as useful as the Bubble, admittedly, but still more useful than you think, especially for what this build is for. The more people standing behind you, the longer this thing lasts. Not only that, but the allies you have behind you gain Weapons of Light, which gives you a 35% damage buff. Along with that, you can use the Banner Shield as a bulldozer just to run into enemies with. Enemies that come in contact with the Banner Shield have void detonators applied to them, which then explode and then revert back to the resupply ability. What I do at times is take my shield and just push it into an enemy or a boss, just so that I'm not only damaging them, but any enemy that comes near us have detonators applied and then explode, which only help my teammates. Plus, with the meta currently revolving around swords and the stupid damage that you can output with them, I keep sword wielders healthy with resupply, as well as dropping the max amount of orbs of light by not only blocking damage, but dealing it as well. And for those of you sitting there saying, "But you can still do all of this with the bubble." Yeah, you're right, but I didn't say this is the best DPS build for a Titan, did I? No, this is for crowd control and ad clear, so the bubble is basically a waste. I'm not going to lie though, the super is not the thing we're focusing on in this build. And to be honest with you, you can have 0 intellect and this build will still work amazingly well. So the 2 pieces of gear you want for this: the Monte Carlo exotic auto rifle and the Heart of Inmost Light exotic chest piece. Let's start off with Monte. Monte Carlo has 2 exotic perks to it, which make this thing extra special. First of which is Markov Chain. Markov Chain acts as a version of Swashbuckler, but better. Like Swashbuckler, when you kill with this weapon, it starts to build up a damage buff up to a max of ×5. When you get a melee kill with this weapon, it's an automatic 5 stack instead of building it up. However, unlike Swashbuckler, when you get a melee kill with this weapon, it reveals ammo in the magazine completely, making this gun already super useful. But that's not the best part. Its second perk is called Monte Carlo Method, and this is the real reason why this gun is in this build. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully charge your melee ability with each kill. I don't have solid numbers on how often the chance is to get your melee back or the percentage of energy you get back with damage dealt, but I'll just tell you this: it's good enough not to worry about it. And for those of you out there who don't main Titan, try this thing out with some builds on Hunter and Warlock. It's insanely useful getting a smoke bomb or arc bolt every other second. But for this build, more melee abilities means more detonators and explosions, leading to more energy for all of the rest of your abilities. The final piece to this puzzle is the Heart of Inmost Light exotic chest piece. While you wear this, using an ability, whether it's a melee, grenade, or barricade, empowers the other 2 abilities. Being empowered means all abilities have faster regen, melee and grenades do more damage, and barricades have more HP. Now add all that up and let that sink in for a second. Bonus energy regen for both your barricade and grenades because of resupply and empowerment, plus both of those alongside Monte Carlo Method for your melee. Everything in this build just feeds off of each other, making abilities just more and more available, and for not only yourself, but also your teammates too. Personally, I think all this stuff goes completely unnoticed and fly under the radar because other players either don't know the commander's capabilities or just don't realize exactly how much I'm helping when they see the void fireworks go off. This entire build keeps your team healthy and powerful without using the one thing everyone sees Titan's good for, the bubble. With that said, I know that currently the Traveler's Chosen is available and has the ability to instantly grant you full ability charges for everything, but personally, I'm not that much of a fan of sidearms because of their low ammo capacity and the small range that they have. If you want to run this build and swap Monty out for Travelers and see how it works, get back to me. I'd love to hear if it works as well as I'd hope. There is one more alternate option for this build. Instead of using Code of the Commander, you can easily use Bottom Tree Sunbreaker for it and have it almost work as well. It doesn't do anything for your teammates and you don't gain as much health or ability energy back, but you can make it work for you if you'd rather use a solar subclass. I know some of you would rather see the world burn than explode in purple void brilliance. As a closing statement, usually in Destiny, crowd control isn't something that has much importance. It's very rare that we come across enough enemies to warrant such a thing. However, with everything that Bungie is showing with the new Stasis subclass, we may see more needs for this kind of thing in the future. Stasis shapes up to be a subclass that can freeze enemies in place, which we really haven't had a need for in current content we see in Destiny. I mean, yeah, sure, there's the occasional strike or raid encounter, which a fire team benefits from highly efficient crowd controlling, but it's not that normal of a thing. Still, having a build like this one for future content definitely isn't going to hurt having access to. Imagine freezing a ton of enemies, placing a void detonator on them, and just watching the magic happen. This is all coming from personal observations I've made, though. I don't have any hard evidence that anything is going to happen as far as an increase in enemies. But, like I said, better be safe than sorry. That's all from me for today. I want to thank you all for watching. If you want to see more, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can know whenever new videos go live. And if you like more live content, I stream on Twitch every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll have a link for that in the description box below. I hope to see you all there. Thank you all for watching. Remember, keep your heads up and be kind to each other. Bye now.